Yeah, I'm Paul Westcott. I'm Product Director for Dun Bradstreet. So Dun Bradstreet has a big data set. We collect information on companies, about 350 million of them, and we pour that in to understand insights, particularly around ownership of companies and who owns each company, and the networks that Neo are then generated to our customers. Sure. As a product manager, I get to spend time with people who are trying to work in financial institutions, and literally individuals were taking a screen, they were printing a screen, they were typing data into a spreadsheet, they were taking another screen, they were typing more data into a spreadsheet, they were taking another screen, and they were following all of the links themselves. Before Neo4j, they would then brute force some kind of Excel spreadsheet to create a calculation. And then they put that and give that to a relationship manager who would be able to then have all of the information. On a good day, they would do a company in about half an hour. With Neo4j, they were able to type in the company, ask the question, have a visualization of those networks and how those paths were created, print that off and send it in around 30 to 40 seconds. I think the most surprising thing for us was, firstly, we really didn't realize just how many things were connected to each other. There was an assumption, but we were able to follow things such as loops where one company A would own company B, and company B would own company C, and company C would own company A. So you'd have these loops where which are actually illegal, and so you could identify those. And we actually found a lot of areas where we could pinpoint data inconsistencies that we had, focus our data teams to go and get more data in a very pinpoint and accurate way, and then feed that back in to get better results. I always call it the lean in moment. Talk to customers, talk to users, and then you see when you show them the visuals and you show them what the possibilities of the graph and the connections, you literally see them on that chair move forward to the computer screen. And I think of all of the things that I've seen in my career as a product manager, that lean in moment is always the one that's the best. Right now we're very much focused on companies and connecting companies and the networks there. For us, it's now understanding a person and how we can connect a person with those companies, so we have a much more people-centric view rather than a company-centric one. We came to GraphTour. Dun Bradstreet have been working with Neo for some time now, and GraphTour is something that we always allows us to think differently. We have our one-to-one sessions and we're able to collaborate, but it's nice to come to something like this to see other people and how they're using graph technology. It's also a chance to hear different views and different ways of thinking, which I think is fundamental to any business and how they resolve challenges. So to quote Stefan, jumping straight in is a really good idea. But I would also say, think about it in terms of a single problem or a single use case. It's often people say we can solve so many things, but if you focus on one thing and solve one thing well, you'll find that after that it may be better. You may be able to then solve other problems in a similar way, but don't try and bite off more than consume.